Hello, buddy. You're smiling, happy?
Yeah, always happy just to see your face.
It makes you look younger. Question for you, sir. With all the positivity that's going on and so much opportunity out there and so many vacancies going on, how do you put a recruitment business right here, right now on steroids?
It's tough. We're seeing people do it. There are a lot of things I can think of. I know. I can just see it. I can see it in your eyes. You're going to say to me, "Buy a team."
Don't buy a business. Just nick the heart out of them and still the best team.
Well, actually, we know people who have done that, and they're not within our group, but and yes, there's one way to do it. I mean, you've got to do it legally, and you've got to do it correctly. We never advocate people doing it illegally or getting people to breach covenants. But my only concern with that at the moment is it's one of those things. If the market's good, it's good for them as well, and they're probably earning their top dollar they've ever earned and being offered the world. They'll get counter offered. It's a tough one. If you can do it, I agree with you. It's brilliant, and we've seen it work so many times. But it's not an overnight process. It takes time. I think you've really got to work on that and get to understand. Because then let's say you're taking a team of 5 people and you start at the top, and I don't know, team leader, manager, whatever, and they were going down. You only need the weakest link in that 5 to upset the apple cart by somebody noticing something's going on, mentioning something, whatever. So it's a tough process, like it is when you headhunt teams. It's tough. It is tough, but people have got money kicking around right now. So we've had an amazing start. Well, if we go back as far as November, so things have been going really well. Operationally, we haven't been spending as much money. There's been stimulus money thrown at people. Quite a lot of that money has just been just sloshing around, waiting for a rainy day that isn't coming. They should be using that money, and we both think it's about investing in the infrastructure, right? Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's lots of things. A lot of businesses we see, they've got process, but it's not refined process. And as we know, sales is a process, right? And if you want to grow your business, for all of the successful businesses, whether it's S3 or Nigel Frank or these big businesses that everybody in that sector looks up to, eventually they had to industrialize what they did. They had to have a model that you could bring people on, they could be absorbed, they could learn your way of doing it, and they could give the outputs from the inputs you were giving them that you required. And that takes a bit of doing, that takes a bit of mapping, that takes a bit of understanding. If you haven't done that, do that, because it makes it so much easier to hire 4s, 5s, 6s and 7s than it does to go for the 1s and 2s, because your onboarding experience is refined and it's good. And obviously you're iterating on that all the time to make it better. But that's one of the things I would look at. If I wanted to put my business on steroids, I'd make sure I got my standard operating procedures down. I'd make sure that I understood from those procedures what was a gap for me. One of the things as well for the smaller businesses is we see a lot of the time they want to grow, but they're doing things they shouldn't do. So let's put these £10,000 jobs, £1,000 jobs, £100 jobs, £10 jobs. You're the boss. Do the £10,000 jobs. Someone else to do the £1,000 jobs, and outsource the £100 and £10 jobs. And you can do that, and you can get your structures right to start growing. The first thing I do is spend as much money as I can to make sure that I weaponize my tech. So I'll be looking at bots and automation and building efficiencies, so that when people looked at what they currently have versus what they could have, they came and worked for me, they'd be really excited about that. And the second thing I do is try to make myself redundant. So make yourself redundant to do the things you need to or want to do. So first things first, be good enough to do 5 days working 4. That gives you 20% more of your own time to work on the business, which is massively important. And if I look at any of the businesses who are really going forward now, the boss has managed to focus his time almost exclusively working on the business rather than in it. So taking some of the mundane work that you don't need to do, taking it off your hands, investing in people around you, ideally having a number 2 who can run the business, having someone who can actually run all the back office and infrastructure piece, having a decent finance person. So you sit there with all of the information, all of the MI at your disposal, and then you can really take that business on and give yourself personal challenges. Absolutely, and you're the boss, right? So no one feels that founder's passion like you do. You're able to blue sky, and look, to do it, you've got to kind of dream it. You've got to know what that passion, vision, and belief is. And that vision is the end game. And you've got the passion because you're the founder. You've got the vision because you know we're going to get to it. Now you've got the belief in your systems in terms of your business. And to do that, sometimes you have to step back. You have to look at it in its totality, because otherwise you're, as you say, you're in the business and you're in the mix and you can't see the wood for the trees and things get missed. And your growth plan isn't as easy as it should be, because you haven't got that peripheral vision. You can't see everything else that's outside.
Right here, right now, if you're not going forwards, you're going backwards, right?
There's no treading water. We'll just drown.
Okay. Everybody, find a dealer, get on steroids.
Steroids, that is, children.